it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video, and today we will talk about Fabio Carvalho because a few English newspapers are reporting that Liverpool have agreed a deal in principle to sign Fabio Carvalho as a free agent this summer, and I've been closely following his career during his Fulham days and he's brilliant. He's one of the best young players in the championship, one of the best players in the championship, and he's Portuguese. He's very young, only 19 years old. He is an attacking midfielder and he could be the next brilliant generational talent that Liverpool can mold and develop, just like Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones and previously Trent Alexander-Arnold and other young players. And I'm really excited to bring you this news, so if you are excited as well, leave a like, and thank you so much for your awesome support on the previous videos. Keep this coming, and I will keep coming the football content for your way. And also I'm working on a brand new FIFA 22 Liverpool episode. It should be out later tonight or tomorrow, and recruitment sources have told the English newspapers that Liverpool have recommenced negotiations with Carvalho and they have an agreement in principle with Fabio Carvalho to join Liverpool when he becomes a free agent at the end of June. His contract is up at the end of June. He still hasn't signed a contract extension, and why wouldn't he, even if Fulham get promoted, which there is a very high chance of Fulham getting to the Premier League, joining Liverpool, one of the biggest clubs in the world. You just can't turn that down when you are a 19-year-old kid still. He is still a Portuguese under 21 international, and the deal has been in place for quite some time because we already negotiated personal terms basically with Fabio Carvalho in January. The deal was all but done, but why it didn't go through is that Liverpool just simply ran out of time because Fulham wanted to ask for to loan Fabio Carvalho back to Fulham until the end of the season, and because the championship deadline day is 1 hour earlier than the Premier League deadline day, Liverpool just couldn't get this loan deal through the championship deadline day. But personal terms have been agreed, and there had been fears that Liverpool could be hijacked by a Premier League or a European rival willing to meet Fulham's asking price. But Liverpool are confident of pushing the deal over the line after Carvalho underwent a medical at the end of the last transfer window. Of course, he will undergo a medical again before he signs his official contract in the summer. And both Liverpool and Fulham are actually keen to avoid the transfer fee being decided by an independent tribunal. So Liverpool will probably pay a compensation fee to Fulham, but it will be a fraction of what Fabio Carvalho is going to be worth in 3, 4, 5 years time. And the fee will be a few £1 million, as Fulham deserve that, because a significant compensation fee should be paid for development costs. Harvey Elliott was lured to Liverpool in similar circumstances from Fulham as only a 16-year-old in 2019 when his contract expired. So Fulham would absolutely hate the sight, seeing the sight of Liverpool coming in for one of their young, very talented players. In that case, Liverpool and Fulham couldn't reach an agreement over a fee, and an independent tribunal decided that Liverpool should pay $1.5 million compensation fee and also performance-related add-ons, which would add up to $2.8 million, and a 20% sell-on clause. But Liverpool are not looking to sell Harvey Elliott anytime soon. But even if we were to sell him, he would be worth at least £20 million right now, maybe even more. And I'm convinced that Harvey Elliott will become world-class in the years to come. And in all competitions, Fabio Carvalho has 8 goals and 6 assists in 29 games. For a 19-year-old, that's pretty remarkable. Of course, he will come in and probably be a backup player for Liverpool, but with Henderson, Milner, Thiago, all above 30 years old, Liverpool need young blood, young midfielders, and especially a goal-scoring midfielder player like Fabio Carvalho, and he can cut it against the big boys as well. He scored against Manchester City in the FA Cup. In the end, Fulham lost 4-1, I think, but Fabio Carvalho scoring against Man City is a really, really brilliant achievement, and it just shows that he can play at this level. And Fabio Carvalho was very keen to join Liverpool in the January transfer window, and I guess nothing changed on that front. Also, the Times' Paul Joyce, who is a Liverpool correspondent and he's very knowledgeable when it comes to Liverpool signings, he said that in his mind there is no reason why the deal of signing Fabio Carvalho would not go through. I think that comes back on the agenda in the summer, he said. I could see that one getting done by Liverpool. The lengths that Liverpool went to in January to try and get the Fabio Carvalho deal over the line, and the loan back meant that Liverpool ran out of time. But I could see that getting resurrected in the summer, no reason why that wouldn't go through. And Liverpool already agreed an 8 million fee with Fulham for Fabio Carvalho, so it allows both to avoid the possibility of another tribunal. As I said, in the case of Harvey Elliott, that was a lengthy process and it just delayed things being settled, and Liverpool have money in the bank, so I think Fulham deserve at least £8 million for the development of Fabio Carvalho, so they should be compensated accordingly. And according to another reporter, the Sunday World reporter Kevin Palmer, he says that Liverpool have an agreement in place with Fulham over a deal to sign Carvalho at the end of the season. The teenager's contract at Fulham expires in summer, but given his age, Liverpool would have to pay a compensation fee. But according to Kevin Palmer, Liverpool and Fulham have the framework of an agreement for Carvalho to move to Anfield this summer. It has also been claimed that Fulham could look to have maybe Carvalho being loaned back to them next season, and that actually makes a lot of sense, because Fulham will play in the Premier League. Fabio Carvalho will probably start for Fulham next season, and in the Premier League Liverpool can follow his development very closely. He would get a lot of playing time, and Liverpool will have already secured the services of Fabio Carvalho for the next 5 or 6 years, and I think 1 year in the Premier League with Fulham would give Carvalho so many opportunities to learn, to grow, to develop, to experience really, really tough Premier League football. And I think he would get a lot more playing time, of course, at Fulham than he would at Liverpool in his first season in the Premier League. And also I wanted to comment on the links of Bukayo Saka being linked with Liverpool, but I never really truly believed that there was anything in it, because Bukayo Saka loves Arsenal. He grew up as an Arsenal fan, and he has been there since a very young age. And also he's very happy at Arsenal. And Fabio Carvalho confirmed this, that Saka is really happy with his Arsenal life. And Arsenal are preparing their opening proposal to extend Saka's contract in the coming months. Fabio Carvalho confirmed that as well. The plan hasn't changed. A new deal will be discussed at the end of the season. So Arsenal, of course, didn't want to distract Saka. And Arsenal are well on course to qualify for the Champions League, and that would be very remarkable. Not many people predicted Arsenal to finish in the top 4 at the beginning of the season, so it would be very, very big achievement. And former Man City defender Nedum Onaoha, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, has claimed that he can sense some nervousness in Pep Guardiola's Manchester City squad. He said, "I sense some nervousness around, but I think that's a good thing, because the fact is you've got big games coming up. You look at some sides around the league and they don't have big matches, so they could just count down to the end of the season, whereas for Man City and a couple of others, you are thinking you hope it goes well, because if it does, then what a season it would be." Speaking from experience, you see those big matches, and to know all eyes will be on them is the stuff you dream of as a kid. Even though the games are high pressure and you could argue season defining, you would much rather be on the field, because that is the place where you've got control of your destiny. And what a season it could be for Liverpool. We are still in the race, in the hunt for the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and this schedule of April and May is going to be the best schedule that Liverpool had for almost 20 years in terms of excitement, how many big games we have. So I'm really looking forward to it. And Fabinho, who is away on international duty with Brazil, he has shined the spotlight on one of his former managers, Leonardo Jardim, played an important role in developing his playing career. Remember that Fabinho was part of the Monaco team with Mbappe and other players, with Bernardo Silva, who knocked out Manchester City in the Champions League quarterfinals. And originally he was a fullback actually at Monaco, but then the Monaco boss made the critical decision to move Fabinho into the middle of the park. He said, he was a very important coach in my career. My first season with Jardim at Monaco in the 2014-15 season, I still mainly played as a fullback. But then in a few games, he started pushing me into midfield. I remember him asking me during pre-season if I had ever played in that position, and I told him I had. So he played me there in a friendly, and I was the best player on the pitch. And then before the beginning of the 2016-17 season, Jardim called me for a chat and told me, listen, I've signed Djibril Sidibe to play in your role. From now on, I want you to play as a defensive midfielder. And of course, Fabinho initially didn't agree with the decision. It was one that ended up paying so much dividends for Fabinho, because that's the position where he attracted the interest of Liverpool. Looking back though, that was a life-changing moment. Jardim helped me a lot, and that season we won the Ligue 1 title and reached the Champions League semi-finals. I was in the form of my life and ended up moving to Liverpool as a midfielder. It definitely proved to be the right decision. And it's weird because I don't think we ever seen Fabinho at right back at Liverpool. Of course, we have Trent Alexander there, and if he's injured, we have Neco Williams, James Milner, Joe Gomez, and I think Fabinho is just so good as a defensive midfielder. He's in fact the best defensive midfielder in the world. It would be foolish for Liverpool to move him out of position. I think he played centre-back when we had that injury crisis at centre-back last season, but this season he has been one of the best players of Liverpool. And who knows, if Jardim doesn't move Fabinho to the defensive midfield, he might not have been the best player in the world and signed by Liverpool on the back of his performances as a defensive midfielder at Monaco. So it's so interesting how one decision from a coach can influence your life so much, and certainly your footballing career in the case of Fabinho. So that I just thought I would share this fun, interesting story with you guys. And also we had some good news on Liverpool's finances recently, with the Twitter account Swiss Ramble sharing that Liverpool's revenue growth has been in the last 5 years the highest among the big six clubs. 186 million pounds revenue growth in the last 5 years is really remarkable. Of course, it took a big dip with COVID, but Liverpool started off at around like less than 200 million, and now Liverpool are at like 500 million. And in 2012, the revenue gap between Liverpool and Man United was over 200 million, and now it's only 7 million. So Liverpool cut the gap massively, and we can certainly overtake Manchester United in terms of revenue. Now we have 487 million pounds in revenue, which is the third highest in England, and within touching distance of Man United, but nearly 100 million pounds below Manchester City's 570 million. But we know that Manchester City is cheating. They have inflated their revenue with state-backed corporations, companies sponsoring Manchester City. Their true revenue would be below Chelsea, below Arsenal, maybe that, but definitely below Manchester United and Liverpool, because Man City doesn't have a global fan base. It doesn't have the number of fans to attract legitimate sponsors paying the same amount or more than Manchester United or Liverpool. Just no way that is happening. But that's a topic for another video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Liverpool transfer news video. It was a lot of fun to make. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.